This story would begin on the planet of Beerus, where Goku and Vegeta were training. As Goku was motivated by wanting to master Ultra Instinct, Vegeta didn't want Goku to overcome it. The two were training with Whis, but the Angel of Universe 7 would realize that his staff would be glowing, then stop the training to see what was going on. "What's going on, Mr. Whis?" "Apparently someone is calling me." Whis, when answering the call, was Vados, the Angel of Universe 6. In a desperate tone, she would tell him, "Whis, gather the most powerful warriors you have as soon as possible and head towards the place of Zeno-sama. Our father betrayed us. Me, Margarita, and the Guardians are trying to protect Zeno-sama. Also, contact all the gods and angels you can. We need help urgently." Whis would enter in desperation and would talk to Vegeta to go wake up Beerus and Goku to mention to the warriors that can be of help. Goku immediately tells him to go look for Broly. It is then that Goku, Whis, Vegeta, and Beerus would go to the planet Vampa. It's there that they would find the legendary Super Saiyan. "Broly, we need you to come with us." "I can't now. What's wrong?" Goku would yell at him just to accompany them, and Broly would understand that it was something serious. Then they would go to the Kai's planet, so he'd take them faster to the palace. Then Gogeta would use his technique to get to Zeno-sama's planet. That's when the real terror would begin. Daishin-kan would have killed the guardians of Zeno-sama. The priest was unrecognizable. His eyes had become a reddish color. He was not the same serene and calm priest he used to be. He had changed completely. Daishin-kan would notice the presence of our warriors. He would decide to go assassinate the Zeno-sama of the future. Vados, Markiata, and the other angels and destroyer gods were seriously wounded. Some of them were even dead. Our warriors had arrived too late. Daishin-kan would put his hand in front of Zeno-sama of the future, so with one attack, he would pulverize him. Zeno-sama could not erase him every time he tried. His technique was in vain. It didn't work against the priest. It is then that the priest would say, "It's a real shame. You can see that you can't use your powers, Zeno-sama. Leave them to me. I will give them a better use." Daishin-kan would start grabbing Zeno-sama by the head, thus absorbing all of his powers. Goku would go into a state of rage, and he could no longer watch this scene, and would go to attack Daishin-kan, but Vegeta would stop him. "Vegeta! Let go of me, damn it! Can't you see something has to be done?" "Wait, Kakarot! Don't be so dumb! For once, just listen to me. If you go in there, you'll be killed in an instant." At that moment, Beerus and Whis would decide to fuse, thus giving way to a super god. But it was too late. Daishin-kan had already absorbed the powers of Zeno-sama, and nothing could stop him. The defeat was inevitable. The fusion would surrender, but Goku would not. It was then that he would transform into Super Saiyan Blue and launch a Kamehameha, but his attack would be destroyed. "I'm fine with you accepting your defeat, since now I'm practically the most powerful in existence. I'll now erase the entire multiverse." That's how Daishin-kan would raise his hand and do the technique used by Zeno-sama to erase everything in existence. When everything seemed to be over, a strange event would happen. Goku had returned to the time of his childhood. In short, he had been born again. But that would not only happen to Goku, but also to Vegeta and Broly. Something or someone had given the opportunity to remedy everything. Where the hell am I? Why do I feel so small, and what is this planet? Goku would find himself on planet Vegeta. His father, Bardock, who was loading his ship to send him to Earth. It is then that Goku would overhear the conversation his parents would have. "You take such extreme measures, Bardock. No Saiyan man cares so much for his children." "I always spend my time on the battlefield. So I'd like at least once in my life to preserve something, especially if it's someone who's destined to be a low-class warrior. I mean a warrior!" Goku would understand everything, the reason in which his parents sent him to Earth. He realized that Frieza was going to destroy his parents along with all of his race, and that he had to do something to prevent it. Then Goku, with all of his strength, would leave the ship, breaking it completely. Bardock and Gine would be impressed with the feat that Goku did, and it's then that Goku would tell his parents that he wants to stay to fight against Frieza. Bardock would be fascinated with the attitude that his son had shown. "Son, I'm proud of your attitude, but unfortunately you can't. You don't have enough power, since you are a low-class Saiyan. Of course I have enough power! Goku would start to raise his power like this, making everything fly. Bardock couldn't believe the amount of power Goku was giving off. Gene on his side would be insisting Bardock for Goku to stay. It is then that Bardock would say, "Alright, Kakarot, you'll stay. But first let me measure your power level with a scouter. If it's not high enough, you're going to Earth." Goku confidently would nod his head. Meanwhile, Vegeta would wake up on another planet. Confused, Vegeta would wonder where the hell he was. In the middle of the night, Nappa would wake up. "Hey, Vegeta, is everything okay?" Vegeta, seeing Nappa, would be so surprised that he would take a few steps back and unintentionally step on Raditz. "Hey, be more careful next time, you idiot!" Vegeta would think it was a dream, but on his tracker, a communication would sound. "Attention Saiyans! Attention Saiyans! Lord Frieza wants you all on planet Vegeta because he wants to have an important meeting." At that moment, Vegeta would realize that he was in the moment before his race was destroyed. "Nappa, Raditz, and the others, get up! We're going home." "But Vegeta, we thought you didn't want to go." "Get up and let's go, right now before I get mad and kill you again." Vegeta would leave towards planet Vegeta, thinking about how he was going to avoid the destruction of his race, and thinking about what happened in that fight against Daishinkan, also if it would have happened to Kakarot, same thing that happened to him. Thousands of questions had flooded Vegeta's mind. Meanwhile, Broly would wake up because some soldiers were taking him to a ship. They were going to send him to the planet Vampa. Broly would realize that he was a child again, and immediately he would remember his father. Then when Broly started to resist, and the soldiers would shoot him with their guns, that would only make him even more angry. Then Broly would charge an attack and would throw it to the soldiers, as he managed to escape. Broly luckily remembered his home on planet Vegeta. It's then that he'd enter and meet his father. Broly would be excited to see his father again, and in tears would go to hug him. Paragus would wake up and ask Broly why he wasn't in the breeding capsule. It's then that Broly would tell him about the soldiers, and that they were going to send him to a planet. It's then that Paragus would understand and tell him, "Alright Broly, tomorrow we're going to kill Vegeta. Now go get some rest." Paragus would be thinking that Vegeta is envious and want to send his son to another planet, just because his power was superior to the prince's. Morning would come on the planet Vegeta, and Vegeta had arrived with his comrades to his home. "What? How come they didn't send Broly to planet Vegeta? Bring Paragus and Broly here immediately." After a few moments, Paragus would arrive with his son to the kingdom. "Paragus, your son seriously injured some soldiers last night. If he's just a child, he's a threat. I can't imagine the danger he'll be to everyone when he's a man. My son defended himself because you were going to take him to another planet by force. Your son has an incredible power, even more than many of us here. You never thought that your son is a mutant? He'll get out of control, and no one will be able to stop him. Have you thought about the chaos he would unleash if he becomes an Ozaru? He represents a danger to the race. That's why I decided to send him to a distant planet. Broly will know how to control his power since he has me. Then help him learn to use his power away from this planet." King Vegeta would order to send them both to planet Vampa. But that's when Vegeta would take action. "No, father. They'll stay here." "I don't understand. Why do you want them to stay here?" Vegeta, thinking of some excuse, would say, "It's because Broly's the only one who can give me a fight on this boring planet full of debts." King Vegeta would smile and let Paragus and Broly stay, but on one condition, that they cut off Broly's tail in the meantime. "Alright, Kakarot, we'll use my tracker to measure your fighting power. Now start to raise your power. I want to see your maximum capacity." Goku would begin to increase his power, reaching extremely high levels for any Saiyan. Vegeta would realize the great power he felt, and a smile would form on his face, since he knew that this power was from Kakarot. Bardock would begin to measure with his tracker, and it had already reached over 90,000. In this story, Goku would have been just reborn with part of his power, more or less the amount he had when he fought against Captain Ginyu in the Frieza saga, while Vegeta would have the power of 76,000 units. And finally, Broly, being a child and knowing the basics of fighting, would only moderately be stronger than the child of the original story, reaching a power level of 30,000. Of course, these surpassed any Saiyan, even the power of King Vegeta and the power of Bardock, since the power of both was merely 10,000. Bardock would say that this power was more than enough to defeat Frieza, but obviously he didn't know Frieza's maximum power level. Goku would say that it wasn't enough to defeat him. He still has to train more to fight Frieza. In the kingdom, the king would have dinner with the prince. "And tell me, son, How was the conquest of the planet?
Well, we were able to conquer. I got even more power.
Vegeta would begin to increase his power in a sudden way, making the place where they were shake. Goku, who could sense the power of others, would feel Vegeta's, and without hesitation, he would go to where he was. Kakarot, what are you doing?
I'm going to Vegeta.
Vegeta, before his father said a word, would tell him to let him pass. That's when Goku would pass, and when Goku and Vegeta would see each other's faces again. But this is Kakarot, Bardock's son. Dare you come talk to the prince being a low-class warrior?
Don't get carried away by their power levels, Dad. That bastard in front of you is the most powerful of our race.
The king would laughably decide to measure Goku's power, and to his surprise, that would be a power level of 90,000.
Vegeta, we need to talk. Same here, Kakarot.
That's when the two would realize that they'd been reborn with all of their memories.
That damned Shingon. I swear this time I'll train to become twice as strong so I can kill that damn thing. We'll have to be twice as prepared for what's going to happen, but now we have to focus on Frieza. My father's going to rebel against him today. So your father already guessed it. That's why he sent you to Earth. He's a cunning Saiyan. We need to come up with a plan to kill him since we don't have enough power to defeat him yet. I could use the Spirit Bomb. I have a better idea.
Vegeta would gather 10 Saiyans. Among them were Nappa, Raditz, King Vegeta, Bardock, and they were going to do the ritual for the two of them to become a Super Saiyan God.
We're gonna do a ritual.
A ritual, you say? What for?
We'll do the ritual of the Super Saiyan God.
King Vegeta and Bardock would be astonished. But the Super Saiyan God is just a legend.
No, it's not. It can be done. You just have to do a ritual. 5 Saiyans must give their soul and power to a single Saiyan in order to reach the divine phase. With that power, will be more than enough to defeat Frieza.
Alright, but who will we do the ritual to?
Me and Kakarot.
Are you sure you can handle that much power? You're just kids.
We have experience with Divine Ki.
God Ki? What the hell is that?
Nothing. Forget it. Let's start the ritual.
The ritual would begin, and the two groups formed by 5 Saiyans would take each other's hands and would give their energy, elevating the two children. A blinding flash would be present on the planet, and from it would come out the two saviors of the Saiyan race, Goku and Vegeta, in Super Saiyan God form.
Mr. Frieza, almost all the Saiyans are on planet Vegeta.
Perfect. It's time to start my plan. And by the way, about the legend of the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God?
No information could be given. Apparently it's just a legend.
I thought so. But I can't afford to let a species like the filthy Saiyan monkeys live.
Frieza would exit from his ship through the upper deck and see 3 Saiyans flying towards his direction. They were Goku, Vegeta, and Bardock. Frieza would then decide to release all of his soldiers. But to the Emperor's surprise, his entire army would be blown away by a super powerful attack. The 2 Saiyan gods were on another level. This would frighten Frieza, but before letting him do anything, Goku and Vegeta would give him a strong punch, thus destroying a large part of his ship.
Surrender, Frieza. What you feared so much is present before your miserable eyes. We're the Saiyan gods. You don't stand a chance against us. No, I will not allow 2 mere apes to humiliate me like this.
Frieza would pass into his final form, dominated by fury. That power's amazing. So that's what Kakarot meant by his power wasn't enough to defeat Frieza. Goku and Vegeta would show no expression in the face of Frieza's power, and together with an incredible combination, they would attack this evil emperor. Impressive. Those two have great coordination. It looks like they've known each other for years. Frieza would be getting a beating and humiliation of his life. Dominated by fury, he would go to 100% power. Hey, you guys, finish off Frieza quickly. They've been transformed for a while now. Goku and Vegeta would continue to be superior to Frieza. Upon receiving so many blows and attacks, he could no longer even breathe, and dropped to his knees on the ground.
Well, I think that's the end of this fight.
Vegeta would charge a strong attack, and before launching it, they would lose their Super Saiyan God form, and Frieza would realize this instantly, so he would hit both of them hard and start torturing them, squeezing their heads and making poor Goku and Vegeta scream in pain. Bardock would be witnessing this merciless scene. Frieza would realize this and would decide to send a powerful attack to Bardock, which he would receive squarely. Damn it! I can't die! I must protect my son! I must protect my family! I must protect my race from that bastard! This isn't my time to die! Bardock would break free. Listen, damn you! I know you hate the Saiyans more than anything else, but that doesn't give you the right to destroy millions of innocent lives! And that's why I'll defeat you, Frieza! Bardock would become a Super Saiyan, and this would leave Goku and Vegeta surprised. Die, once and for all. This attack would hit Frieza. But unfortunately, it wouldn't be enough to exterminate him. No way! Although Bardock's power had been multiplied by 50, giving him a power level of 500,000, it wouldn't be enough to defeat Frieza in his final form. Bardock would throw himself against the tyrant, but he wouldn't be able to hit him. Frieza would give Bardock a strong punch and a strong kick that made him return to his normal state.
This is the end of you filthy Saiyans!
But when all seemed lost, Goku and Vegeta would find a solution.
Fusion! Ha!
Goku and Vegeta had fused, thus giving rise to the most powerful mortal, Gogeta.
What the hell happened? Why those two brats? I am neither Goku nor Vegeta, and I'm the one in charge of killing you. What nonsense! They can't defeat me, they're just kids!
Gogeta would connect a strong punch to Frieza and say,
It's time for you to die once and for all!
Gogeta would charge a strong attack and exterminate the cold demon from the face of the universe. After that, everyone on planet Vegeta would celebrate, thanks to Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta would call King Vegeta and Bardock and tell them,
Father, we have to go to planet Earth. We have a lot of things to do there.
I understand, but will you ever come back?
I don't think so, but you guys are always welcome to come visit us.
Okay, thank you very much for freeing us from Frieza, and have a good trip. So Goku and Vegeta would leave for planet Earth. Ship of the Great King Cold, orbiting planet Vegeta. Sir, the computer can't find any trace of your son. Did those Saiyan gods really defeat him? No, can't be possible. Those useless monkeys were able to defeat the warrior from the most powerful race. Unbelievable, sir, but according to rumors, they are two super warriors. I believe their level is beyond the reach of any mortal. They even said to be stronger than the demon Majin Buu. Damn, if we go now, they could kill me without a problem. Sir, didn't you think to train? Training for a prestigious race like the Cold Demons is an insult. But I guess I have no choice. I think 6 months is more than enough to overcome them. At the end of these 6 months, Cold would receive a super power-up, becoming even stronger than Golden Frieza. Meanwhile, on Earth, Goku and Vegeta would overcome all the obstacles that were put in front of them. Goku would meet his grandfather again, which would make him very happy. Also, Vegeta would see Bulma again, and during those 6 months, the Saiyans didn't stay with their hands crossed either. They would train their base state, reaching simply catastrophic levels, to such an extent that Goku had a base state power of 6 million, as well as Vegeta. They would also learn to become Super Saiyans, which would give them a monstrous power of 300 million. In that state, they would also learn to master the God phase, and they were already able to use it by themselves without the need of a ritual. We received your orders, Great King Cold. Make your way to planet Vegeta. I have a score to settle with the king. In the course of those 6 months, Bardock would be crowned the new king, as he was the only Super Saiyan that existed on that planet. King Bardock, King Cold is headed our way. I don't think he means well. Call Nappa and Raditz. Tell them they have to tell Kakarot and Vegeta. You gotta come immediately. Try to buy as much time as possible. Alright, we'll go toward them. Oh, and one more thing. What is it, sir? Bring Broly. King Cold's ship would land on the planet. King Cold, what can I do for you? Listen to me, Bardock. If you don't want me to destroy this filthy planet, tell me right now the location of the people responsible for my son dying. Don't worry, they're on their way to annihilate you. Perfect. If they're coming, I'll greet them with a nice surprise. The destruction of their home planet. Over my dead body. King Cold and Bardock would begin to fight each other. With various fists and kicks, the battle between these two giants would make the entire planet tremble. What's wrong, Saiyan? Have you had enough? Of course not. I could do this all day. Then get ready, Cold would say, and his punch would be barely parried by Bardock. But Bardock would take a direct hit, and that's where Bardock would start to lose this battle. Despite all of his efforts to protect his planet, Cold was too much for him. He was just taking a beating. Punches and kicks were completely received by the Saiyan. And to finish him off, he would go to his 100% power form, in which he was unreachable for Bardock, and he would continue to receive a beating from Cold. until he decided to send an attack to Bardock to kill him once and for all. But before Cold could explode this attack, he'd receive a strong punch, which would be nothing more and nothing less than Broly.
Broly, come at once. This place is very dangerous.
Broly wouldn't listen to his father. He kept trying to hit Cold. Paragus would approach Broly to take him back.
You guys are definitely in the way. You better die already.
Cold would launch a strong attack that would hit Broly and Paragus. Broly would manage to resist it, but Paragus unfortunately could not.
Oh, what a pity.
That insect died. That's what happens for meddling where they shouldn't be. Broly would begin to release tears from his eyes, and his ki would begin to shoot out of control. The indomitable legendary Super Saiyan would make his introduction. Bardock, who was about to die, would witness what happened. Broly had become a legendary Super Saiyan, and there was no being in the world capable of stopping him.
Oh no, this is really bad. His power's doubling over and over again.
I have to do something before this gets out of hand. Cold would launch a strong attack that would simply be pulverized by Broly's aura. Then Broly would launch himself at Cold once, and that's where Cold would take a beating. Broly's strong blows would leave the great Cold Demon in pain.
No way. If he keeps this up, this guy's going to kill me.
Cold, with a great scream, would make Broly back down.
I wasn't planning on using this transformation on anyone other than the insects that killed my son, but you leave me no choice. Get ready, because this is my new evolution, capable of fighting with the gods.
Cold would begin to release energy and reach his final transformation, his Golden Cold phase.
Now get ready, because I'll tear you to pieces!
As a bit of a side note, I decided to use Golden Cooler's design because there's almost no images of Golden Cold, and also because it's more to my taste. It has a much more interesting design than it should be. So without further ado, let's continue. Broly would look blinded by anger and would go towards Cold. But this time, Cold would stop him with ease and would give him a strong blow. This would make the legendary warrior more enraged, that would pass fully to the legendary Super Saiyan, and this would give many more blows to Golden Cold that would continue, even with the legendary Super Saiyan. After that is when the two make strong attacks that would end with the agonizing victory of the Demon of the Cold.
I'm weakened. Should return to my ship to rehabilitate myself. Let me tell you, you're not going anywhere.
Goku and Vegeta would fall to the battlefield.
We're the ones responsible for your son's death. Damn you, I'll never forgive you!
Cold would launch a blast aimed at Goku's chest, but they would deflect it while in the God phase.
Are you ready, Vegeta? Let's go!
The two would go at Cold, landing several direct hits.
Damn, these kids are going to kill me!
Goku and Vegeta would charge a Kamehameha and Final Flash, which would combine to form a final Kamehameha, and which would disintegrate Cold completely. Over the years, the world was at peace. Goku would have his son Gohan, and Vegeta would have his son Trunks. In this story, Goku would not suffer from the heart disease, as he never visited the planet Yardrat. But in a laboratory, a bio-android would be created from the cells of everyone on Earth.
Suppose the Red Ribbon Army's commander had never made that ridiculous wish. Suppose the Red Ribbon Army was always an army of assassins, but this time it was never necessary for Goku to intervene. Grandpa Gohan would meet Goku and Vegeta, and he would be in charge of raising Goku since he was just a child, especially considering that Vegeta would frequently leave the mountains. Because Goku never interfered with the Red Ribbon Army's evil plans, Dr. Gero was able to make surprising technological advances, as he didn't need to stay hidden. Needless to say, he had many more resources at his disposal to lead his projects. The Red Ribbon Army would see on TV that two children had arrived from space, and by their actions they would note these kids were extremely strong. That is where their plan for world domination would begin. With more resources, Gero would send satellites into the orbit of other planets, so that his computer could extract the genetics of extraterrestrial species. Among these planets was planet Vegeta. The place Dr. Gero discovered was where the two children came from. Thanks to his investigations, he had hidden microphones and cameras in Mount Pao Zoo to monitor every move and behavior of the Saiyan Goku. Months would pass. 4 months went by, and Dr. Gero saw something that left him astonished. The two kids had unleashed a type of energy completely unknown to him. It was Divine Ki, an energy with a calm nature, but thousands of times more destructive than normal Ki. The doctor would see these two children disappear and decide to check the satellite of planet Vegeta. Indeed, they were there. As the battle against King Cole took place, the computer would manage to extract the genetic code of Goku, Vegeta, Bardock, incredibly Cole's own, and even Broly. I can't believe I have these genetic codes. They don't even match an anomaly. They belong to a divine nature. With this, I'll be able to dominate the entire planet. No, what am I saying? With this, I can rule the entire universe. Thus, the project would begin. First, he would create 2 young androids and infuse them with traces of Namekian genetics, divine Super Saiyan God genetics, the genetics of a legendary Super Saiyan, and finally the genetics of a divine Frost Demon, referring to King Cole's race. This would grant the 2 androids universal power, something simply beyond anyone's comprehension. Lastly, he would create his final project, a bio-android made from the genetics of the most powerful warriors in the universe, the likes of which had never been seen before. This being would be destined to rule the entire universe, the ultimate warrior. After that, Dr. Gero would decide to betray the Red Ribbon Army and take over by himself, considering that those in the army were of no use. Years would pass, and Goku would have Gohan, while Vegeta would have Trunks. These 2 hybrid Saiyans would possess unimaginable power, being the children of divine warriors. Gohan and Trunks would train their entire lives. Of course, Chi-Chi would pressure Gohan to study, but that wouldn't stop him from training with his father. At the age of 13, Gohan and Trunks would be capable of mastering Super Saiyan Blue. Dr. Gero's plan had gone perfectly. He had all the preparations ready for the androids to be unleashed to destroy everything. As for Cell, he was about to break out of his cocoon and emerge from his larval form. Goku and Vegeta already knew this threat was coming, so they prepared themselves. Goku could partially use Super Saiyan Blue combined with the Kaioken, while Vegeta could use his Super Saiyan Blue evolution form. Everything was set. The time had come for the androids to emerge from their capsules. The Doctor would release them, and just like in the original story, they would rebel against him. Gero would be killed. Then, on their own, they would decide to destroy the lab. But first they would free Android 16. The androids would launch a powerful attack on the lab, but it would be nullified. It was a colossal power that left everyone in shock. It was Cell, but not in his larval state. He was in his first perfect form, which left everyone both astonished and a bit afraid, because they felt that this monster had unimaginable power. Thus the grand melee would begin. Gohan and Trunks would fight against Android 17. Goku and Android 16 would face Cell. Vegeta would fight Android 18. The battlefield was on fire, and for Gohan and Trunks, even though they could already use Super Saiyan Blue, 17 managed to keep both at bay. However, neither of them would give up, and they would look to counterattack. Vegeta, for his part, was relatively evenly matched with 18, but the android maintained a slight advantage over the Saiyan. Meanwhile, Goku and 16 managed to keep Cell at bay, even though he was in his first form. Stronger than the androids, Goku and 16 could still handle him. At one point, 17 would seriously wound Trunks, leaving Gohan to fight alone. Damn it! I'm on my own. I've got to get out of this. I think I know how to beat him. In this timeline, Gohan had been training ever since he was a child with a Super Saiyan God. The results of that training would be seen in this moment. I'll have to use my maximum power if I want to defeat you. Gohan would start raising his power. Whis, who was on his way, would sense Gohan's power from afar and be amazed. Damn it! If Kakarot's son is about to show off, I'm not going to be left behind, Vegeta would say, also powering up in the same way. Cell would be surprised at everyone's power. Vegeta had reached Super Saiyan God, and Gohan had also achieved Super Saiyan God. Androids 17 and 18 would no longer be a match for them, and so they would regroup cornered by the Saiyans. Damn it, we're finished! Cell would see the 2 androids together and seize the moment. He would shake Goku off and, with a hard strike, knock 16 far away. Then he would teleport to 17 and 18 and teleport them to a nearby location. Damn it, Kakarot! Immediately lock onto Cell's key. Damn it, I can't find it. That bastard concealed his key. I can't feel 17 or 18 either. He's probably absorbing them already. Remarkable. It seems these warriors are in trouble. Cell would have just absorbed both androids and it was done. The super perfect being would make his appearance. Cell had completed his development, and he was absolutely unstoppable. There was no one on Earth capable of defeating him. Cell would fire a beam at Gohan, but Goku would jump in the way and take the blast, losing his transformation and falling to the ground. Dad, no! Please, hang on! Don't die on me! At that moment, an intense light would be seen in the sky. a spaceship. The Saiyan ship. Bardock, Brawly, and company had come to save our warriors. Bardock and Brawly would step out of that ship. Well, looks like there are 2 more pieces of trash ready to die. Bardock would send medical personnel to treat Goku. Everyone save your energy. I'll take care of him. What are you saying, you bug? You can't defeat him. I know what I'm doing. Just leave him to me. Brawly would begin to scream and start transforming. His pupils would turn yellow. His hair would stand on end. His armor would break, and fur would grow on his abdomen and arms. He would look more savage. Brawly's power was incredible. His new transformation was the result of fully controlling his wrought state, allowing him to become an Uzaru, the great ape, without the giant monkey appearance. This can't be. How is it possible for someone to have this kind of power? Brawly's instincts would be at their peak. As his transformation made him much more violent, Brawly would charge at Cell and thrash him without even letting the bio-android breathe. But this only benefited Cell, who grew stronger and stronger as he regenerated. I've had enough. I think you served as good training, but now the real battle begins. Brace yourself. Cell would achieve his golden form thanks to his King Cold genes. If he was powerful before, now he was breaking every limit. Damn it! This is getting out of control. I can't just stand here. I have to do something, or the universe might be in danger. Returning to the battle, Cell would mop the floor with Brawly. Even with his new transformation, Brawly was getting pummeled. Damn it! I have to help him! Bardock would likewise become a Super Saiyan God, and go to assist Brawly. But Cell with a swift kick knocked him unconscious. Goku would see how everyone was going to help Brawly but was getting swatted away like flies, so he told the medical staff to stand aside. But sir, we can't leave you like this. You're seriously injured. I said move. Goku would close his eyes and begin radiating heat, surrounded by a bright glow. Emerging from it, Goku would be seen in Ultra Instinct at its highest level. Everyone, especially Whis, who was there, would be stunned. What the heck did you just do? The only one who understood that state would be Vegeta, who smirked. You did it again, Kakarot. Without a word, Goku would appear right in front of Cell. Cell would be shocked by his speed and try to land a punch, but Goku dodged it with ease. After that, Goku would land a solid blow that sent Cell flying. Goku would pursue him and deal multiple precise hits, leaving Cell badly wounded. Haven't you realized? You're weakening by the second. Since it's your first time in this transformation, you don't have much time. Goku would charge a Super Kamehameha, and Cell would do the same. Damn it! Don't think I'll let you beat me so easily. I'm destined to rule the universe. Goku would fire his Kamehameha, and Cell would do the same, causing a huge power clash, with Cell gradually gaining the upper hand. This would push Goku to his limit. This is the end for you. Nothing and no one can beat me. I am invincible. Damn it, I can't beat him. Suddenly, Goku's Kamehameha would swell immensely, and Goku would see that Brawly was helping him. Damn it, how could I forget about that insect? Alright, Brawly, on the count of 3, unleash all your power. 1, 2... Brawly and Goku would unleash every bit of their strength, managing to disintegrate Cell and kill him once and for all. Goku would collapse in exhaustion. Finally, we managed to defeat him. That was close. That bastard almost killed us. I'm glad that Cell is now much stronger. Hello, everyone. Huh? Who said that? It's me, Whis, the angel attendant to Lord Beerus. Goku would be glad to see Whis again after everything that happened. What a surprise! Nice to see you, Mr. Whis. I've noticed you all have impressive power. What sort of training did you do? Well, you could say we trained quite a bit in the other world. Other world? Did you die? Something like that. It's hard to explain, and even we still don't fully understand what really happened. I think we should discuss this privately, Mr. Whis. I see. No problem. We'll talk about it later. Right now, we're heading to my wife's place. Do you want to come along? I think you might want to try some Earth dishes. Of course, I'd love to. Once they arrived at Capsule Corporation, Whis would say, Well, don't you think this is a better place to talk about what we have pending? All right, forgive us if it's hard to express ourselves. This is a topic that makes Vegeta and me feel tense, which is why we avoid talking about it, but I think you need to know. We were born at the moment when your father, the Grand Priest, destroyed the dimensional world we lived in. What? I don't understand. It's difficult to explain, but we had a life before this one, where we defeated the villains that, in this life, it's as if the two of us had traveled back in time with all our memories intact. What happened that day with your father is that we were training with you, and suddenly we called out to you to tell you that your father had betrayed Lord Zeno. We got ready as fast as we could and arrived at the palace. That's where we found all the gods and angels dead. Then the Grand Priest killed Lord Zeno and absorbed his powers. After that, he destroyed all 12 universes, including us. Next thing I knew, I woke up as a baby, and my life basically started over. That's impossible. My father can't do this simply because his nature won't allow it. What do you mean, Mr. Whis? That something or someone caused my father to do it. How can that be possible? Now that I think about it, it's logical. Are you saying angels can't be evil? No. The only way for an angel to become evil is for someone to corrupt them. Who could possibly corrupt the Grand Priest, one of the most powerful beings? I don't know, but it must be a dimensional threat. Mr. Whis, we need you to train us. We even need to surpass the angels. We have to be ready for that day. Unfortunately, we angels can't do anything against my father. He has the ability to wipe us out in a fraction of a second. The only one who can stand against him are the mortals themselves. So you'll train us? That's right. But from now on, I don't want this topic to be mentioned again. Otherwise, my father will realize we're planning something. All right. We won't say another word, Mr. Whis. Perfect. Years would go by, and Whis would tirelessly train Goku and Vegeta, achieving simply outstanding results. Broly would reach Super Saiyan Blue. Goku and Vegeta would reach a new transformation that gave them power rivaling the Grand Priest. They asked the Dragon Balls on Earth to restore their tails, allowing them to access the Uzaru transformation like Broly. After more training, Goku would be the first to master Ultra Instinct, while transformed. Over the years, Gohan never stopped training. He continued and could now transform into Super Saiyan Blue 3. Goku and Vegeta would see Broly arrive and transformed as Super Saiyan 2 and 3. They would provide enough energy for Majin Buu to be released. Wasting no time, in Super Saiyan Blue, Goku would fire a Kamehameha and disintegrate the Pink Demon. Beerus would finally awaken from his slumber. Whis, I had a dream. Maybe it was a premonition. Really, Lord Beerus? What was it about? It was about a warrior. I'm not sure about his name. Ah, yes, the Super Saiyan God. I want to find him and challenge him to a fight. Super Saiyan God? I know that warrior. What? You know him? Take him to me immediately. If you'd like, I can bring him here. Perfect. Bring him here, and I'll be waiting. Whis would go to Earth. Goku, Vegeta, Lord Beerus has just woken up. He wants to fight one of you. Great! I finally get to fight him. Of course you won't, Kakarot, because I'll be the one who beats him. Rock, paper, scissors, and the winner fights him. Goku would win. Alright, I'll be the one fighting Beerus. Are you ready, Goku? We must go now. Goku and Vegeta would head to Beerus' planet. Upon arrival, Beerus would be a bit impatient. What? Are there 2 Super Saiyan gods now? Indeed. But this time your opponent will be Goku. Nice to meet you, Lord Beerus. It's an honor to fight you. Whatever. I hope you're strong. Oh, I am. I'll make you tremble with fear. Goku would begin radiating heat, having achieved Ultra Instinct. What in the world is that? Is that Ultra Instinct, Lord Beerus? What? How is it possible? You slept through a lot. Well, let's begin. I'm not sure I can beat this guy. The fight would begin, and both warriors would exchange blows and kicks, but neither could land a decisive hit. Beerus was studying his opponent, and Goku evaded all of his strikes, waiting for an opening to counter. Beerus launched a destructive attack that Goku dodged with ease. Let's see if you could dodge all of these. Beerus would send thousands of attacks, and Goku would dodge them all one by one. Frustrated, Beerus would decide to hurl a Hakai at Goku. At first, Goku struggled to control it, but as time passed, he held on, gradually containing it. That's enough. No more games. Goku would scream, exploding Beerus' Hakai with his own aura. This guy is astonishing. He's still holding back more power. Goku would charge a Kamehameha, and Beerus would create a giant energy sphere. Both fired their attacks, each determined to win, adding more power and pressure until the clash overloaded with energy and exploded, completely destroying Beerus' planet. Yet Whis would rewind time to prevent it, ending the fight in a draw. You have incredible power. You made me use my full strength. Likewise, Lord Beerus, and let me tell you, I didn't use my full power. What? You still have more power? Yes, but I don't need to use it. I'm saving it for a special day. Suddenly, everything fell silent. Why the tension? Did something happen? Nothing, Lord Beerus. Don't worry. Thus, Goku and Beerus would meet. Then Champa would visit his brother to propose a tournament, which Vegeta alone would win. Even defeating Hit with Ultra Instinct, that's where Goku would meet Vados. After that, Goku would go stop Zamasu so he wouldn't wreak havoc. Therefore, since there was no future Trunks timeline, the Goku Black Saga would never occur. Then the Tournament of Power would be organized in which Goku and Vegeta would look upon the Grand Priest with deep hatred, but manage to hide it. The tournament would unfold as we know it, except instead of bringing Frieza, they'd bring Broly. Goku would only use Ultra Instinct because if he used his new transformation, the gods would see him as a multiversal threat. Everything was back to how it was at the beginning of this theory. Every day that passes brings them closer to that catastrophic day, and Goku and Vegeta would know it better than anyone. The day arrived, the day the Grand Priest killed the entire universe. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly were more nervous than ever. So anxious they couldn't sleep. First thing in the morning they would be on Beerus' planet. "Relax. Think about it going well," Beerus would say. "I don't know, Lord Beerus. Something tells me this is our last chance. Otherwise we'll all vanish. We failed once already. We don't want to fail again." "You have nothing to worry about. You have enough power not to fail. Take this, it's a transmitter. Whatever it captures will show up in the vacant area for any of the 12 angels. If my theory that the dimensional threat will corrupt my father is correct, this will alert all the gods and angels. This time there are no senzu beans, and there aren't any Dragon Balls that can bring us back, Kakarot. I know. That's why we must win, no matter what." Whis would give them an object that would allow them to infiltrate Zeno's palace undetected. Whis decided to take them halfway. Upon reaching that midpoint, Goku would take out a Bulma capsule containing the transport cube they'd used to travel for Champa's tournament. "Alright, from here on, it's just us three. I wish you good luck. The fate of all 12 universes is in your hands." Whis and Goku would look at each other in the eyes as if saying goodbye, like it might be the last time they'd see each other. "Okay, let's go." Goku would summon the transport cube, which would take them close to Zeno's palace. "Alright, from here, we have to fly, or else they'll know we're here." Goku, Vegeta, and Broly would fly in. Damn it, the closer I get, the more I remember that day. "We can change our destiny." The three Saiyans would enter the palace through an opening they made themselves, hiding in a corner. They'd set up the device Whis gave them, and just wait for something to happen.